this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another. By now, everybody knows who this guy is. His name is Vivek Ramaswamy, and he is running for President of the United States as a Republican. He seems to be trying to replace Donald Trump, or trying to become the ultra-conservative to replace Donald Trump. He owns a pharmaceutical company, and he is worth $600 million, and he has a number of wealthy Asians backing him. So he has bought his way into the limelight. He's on television a lot, but half the time he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's been on the Breakfast Club, and he gives the impression that he relates to the hip-hop generation. So he's trying to fool the Republicans into thinking that he can bring in a young generation of black voters. But he insults black people with his ignorance of American history and American politics, and also with his pandering to the right wing of the Republican Party, just saying anything to appeal to them, like he's going to end Juneteenth. Of all the things in America he could do, he's going to end Juneteenth. Really? So this is pandering at the lowest level, and I've noticed that he's trying to use these dog whistle type politics that white people use by insinuating nasty little things about black people. This is his way of climbing to the top, by climbing up on the backs of black people like he's seen other people do. He has money, and he can buy airtime, and he can buy his way into spaces. So my question is, can he buy his way into the presidency? He's barely eligible to run. His family managed to get here and get settled before he was born, so that gives him eligibility to run for the presidency of the United States. But to be the president of the United States, you need to know something about the United States. Not something you heard from somebody else, but something that you have lived. So his family is wealthy. He was raised in Cincinnati, Ohio by a Hindu family, and he went to Harvard and majored in biology, which has nothing to do with the job description of a president of the United States. He does have a law degree from Yale, but he's been running a business all his life, running that pharmaceutical company. So now he wants to be the president of the United States, and nobody knows why. Other than that, he likes to hear himself talk, and he likes to be seen. And what better way to be seen than to be on a debate stage trying to become the president of the United States? But he's following the blueprint of what immigrants do when they come here. They take an anti-black position on everything, especially political matters, and then they try as hard as they can to assimilate into white society. A lot of white people fall for this because, so many white Americans have not come to terms with the fact that slavery is really over. That was a great time in America for them. And even the Jim Crow era was really good for them, because that was just like slavery without the government sanction of slavery. And these people did not have slaves. They don't remember that time, but they passed that down from generation to generation of how things used to be. And they really want things to be back like they used to be. So every time another group of people comes here, they somehow co-opt that group to make that group think that they're a part of them. They don't accept those people, not for real, but those people, those Asians and Hispanics, those people will put up with any kind of abuse from white people in the name of trying to assimilate. And white people know that. And they want all of the help they can get against us. So I think that's what this is all about. This is about cultivating another group of anti-black immigrants / Americans. One of the things that has surprised me about immigrants is that Indians suck up to white people more than the Chinese. The Chinese have been here longer, so they understand the game just a little bit better. And more, they are becoming outspoken. But they don't seem to suck up with white people in the same way that Indians do. And if I'm wrong, let me know. One of the reasons for this extra sucking up might be that Indians are classified by caste. And he is in the top caste. He's in the same caste as Kamala Harris. They are like the wealthy white people of India. And that is probably why he identifies more with white Americans than he does other immigrants. So he has made friends in the United States. And again, they try to pretend that he is a viable candidate. I don't know, because if Donald Trump got elected, anybody could get elected. But in no way should this man even be considered president of the United States. He does not know enough about American history to be trying to speak on the issues that he speaks on. He doesn't know the Constitution. He doesn't know what the Civil Rights Bill was all about. And they all try to diminish and dismiss slavery. Nobody wants to acknowledge the role that slavery played in the building of this country. There is no America without slavery. So this man does not know that, and he doesn't want to acknowledge that. But the funniest thing is that he tries to identify with the events of this country. He said his family took him to the Lincoln Memorial when he was a child, and he learned about the Civil War and the enslaved people being free. And he made the statement that we fought for that. We did that, as if he was a white American in the United States during the Civil War. It was just wild that he would refer to it as we, when Indians didn't even start coming to the United States like the rest of the non-white immigrants until after 1965, when the Immigration Act was passed. But he identifies with white Americans. Now, the main reason that this man should not be president of the United States of America is because he does come from India, which has a caste system. So electing this Vivek man president of the United States would be equivalent to Mitt Romney going to India, running for president, and posturing himself against the Dalits. The Dalits are called the untouchables. They are the lowest caste in India. And a lot of those Dalits are as dark or darker than we are. He did not see the suffering, and his parents did not see the oppression and the inequality of the Dalits in India. And so they come to the United States. Well, we're not on the same level as the Dalits. I'm not going to say that. We are much better off than the Dalits. So if he couldn't see the suffering of the Dalits, he can't appreciate what has happened to us. This man should not be the president of the United States for the reason that he does not even know how to put terrorism in context. He called Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley because he does not agree with her party or her politics. He compared her to the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. That is so absurd that you probably wouldn't even have a conservative white person saying something like that. So that's how bold he is, that's how desperate he is, and that's how ignorant he is. So he's stepping over the line and he's going into an area of disrespect that a white person wouldn't go into. And this man is dangerous. He's dangerous because he doesn't know America. He doesn't know what America is supposed to stand for. He knows what he sees, and he knows what he hears the politicians, the Republicans, say. But he doesn't even know what America claims to stand for. He's just up here shooting from the hip, running his mouth, and really being very disrespectful to black people right now. But it will just be a matter of time before he's disrespectful to other groups, because he's only interested in the top of the line, the wealthy class of white men. Now that's what I see in him. This man would be a worse disaster than Donald Trump. So I'm just saying that he's trying to buy his way into the presidency. The wealthy Asians seem to operate on the idea that America is for sale. We can just come over there and buy up America if we want to. They really do underestimate the trickery of our system. They'll let you buy up so much of it, then they'll run you up out of here. Look what they did to the Japanese during World War II. So they make a mistake when they underestimate white people. At least 15 states in the United States have enacted legislation regulating foreign ownership of real property between January and June of 2023. These states are Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Idaho, Indiana, Louisiana, Mississippi, Montana, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Tennessee, Utah, West Virginia, and Virginia. So they can regulate that and change the law at any time and say, well, you can't even buy land here. And they don't have to give you an explanation. And if it gets to be threatening against the United States, they will do it, and they won't give you an explanation. So anybody who thinks they're going to buy off America needs to stop and think again. But back to Mr. Vivek. He's bought a lot of airtime, and he flounces around on stage, and he does a whole lot of talking. And sometimes when people talk a lot, and they try to use a lot of big words, and then they try to create scenarios in their head that trying to make what they are saying make sense, that's what he does. But he does not know what he's talking about, and there is no way that he should be president of the United States. But this is the United States, and money talks in the United States. So do you think, and I'm just asking, do you think that he would be able to buy his way into the presidency? Now, I'm going to say no, just off the top of my head, because he's not Donald Trump. Donald Trump had a long history in this country. Donald Trump had been scheming and scamming and hooking and crooking in New York City for a long time. And Donald Trump was able to get away with all that crooked stuff he was doing, as long as he was calling himself a businessman and a real estate developer. If he had stayed out of the White House, Donald Trump would still be breaking the law and committing those white-collar crimes, and nothing would have been done about it. But he made the mistake of running for president, and he won. He won the first term, but he didn't win the second term. So he thought he was going to pull that scamming that he had done in New York City and get away with it. And it backfired on him. But Donald Trump has a long history of doing stuff like this. This man is green behind the ears. He doesn't know what he's doing, and half the time he doesn't know what he's talking about. But can he buy his way into the presidency? Y'all let me know. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.